I don't know what to believe. They're actually making this Antichrist speak to my brain. And he is a monster. And all day yesterday, he was attacking me after nightfall in the car. Stephen King calls him the night flyer, but he's a real horrible entity. What I can't understand is I spent half my life trying to work with Frankie Valli. It's sad that a lot of times I went off and just moved out of state trying to do promotional work for him. And I guess I put my family last. And so when I met my husband, he was just too good to be true. And Frankie was married. So I gave up the idea of having a life and a future and a career with him. Somebody today is telling me, oh, they want me to have Frankie Valli's baby. They want me to have somebody's baby. And I thought, well, anything time you get a baby, you'll just sacrifice it. But they prevented me from when I went to fertility clinic from trying to get eggs to have a baby. And I didn't believe that you should do artificial things if you're going to abort any kind of eggs or anything. You know, I don't want to abort something. But then they started attacking me with Darth Vader, tearing my spine, and they put me in menopause when Simon Marston died. I don't know what's going on. But they say have a baby. My only regret is that I didn't get to work for Frankie Valli when I was young. And my only regret is we've centered everything in my life around my husband's kids. My husband didn't want to adopt because it wouldn't be fair to his children, because his mom went off and had other babies with another man. He wanted him to feel that one parent was loyal to them, that wouldn't try to, you know, do anything to take away their love. So then he didn't want foster kids because he knew I get attached to them and I want to keep them. So I didn't have children. Well, now somebody's saying having Frankie Valli's baby. I would never have anybody's baby before, except my husband's. He's had 2 vasectomies before he met me. But today I am so upset by all this. When the church told me that I'm close to God and that the church is on my side, even the Vatican, it gave me hope. My husband is being murdered by this group, and I'm trying to save him. But when he still goes on trips and goes in and has to get in their circle to try to save his kids that aren't my own, even though people in that group are trying to kill him, I have no one to turn to. I have no one to talk to. Now, me and Frankie got back in touch, and I really adore him still. But of all the people in the world, I would never consider having. I would have his child if my husband doesn't want me or have children or have future. Only when the Vatican says that God is still here, that you could raise a child to go to heaven. I was giving up hope a few years ago that everything came here would just go to hell, that there's a possibility to reach heaven. But today I am so upset by all this, feeling like my hands are tied. When this beast is trying to get into my brain, that if these people really want something from God, I talked to my husband about it. He said he wouldn't care. He wouldn't care because his life's already set. His past is his future, and his past prevented my future because everything from his offspring always came first, being a parent. I have no children. I have no dreams because this group never let me finish my house. I didn't have a complete finish. I have 2 finished bathrooms. I don't have 3. I didn't have a sidewalk for 12 years. I lived here, but they broke in. They tortured me for 25 years in some experimental prison. But I just know that there's sad regrets. The number 1 is my parents were murdered. They murdered my family. And number 2 is I didn't really get to have a more personal, intense relationship with Frankie Valli, which is what I gave up my youth trying to do, even separating from my family a lot, because I loved him. But everything else in this, everybody else got their life laid out the way they wanted. And I lived in this cocoon, enslaved by Bob's ex and Alex Asico, and the dark side, the Star Wars group, I guess Illuminati, Disney group. They're no fault of my own. It's not a life I signed up for. I still am not thinking right today. I'm just fed up because I was attacked all night by something physically that is the Antichrist, and something in my brain talking to me as the real devil here. I have no outlet, but I thought Frankie's being murdered. He's being murdered. And he seems like he's always been a man of God. And it makes me sad because I know I'll be devastated if he dies. And then that's the only thing, maybe even consider having a baby, because I'd have a part of him to hold. And I even talked to my husband about it just now. My husband's going to continue doing what he wants to do. I want to leave this house. He wants to build it up. I want to to go somewhere where we'll be safe. He doesn't know any place is safe. He's got trips booked, cruises with grandkids and stuff for the future. I don't go on cruises. That means more alone time for me. He travels all the time, but they don't let me travel. I told him 5 years ago, you're going to have to live a life separate. Every time I tried to leave, they murdered a parent. They murdered a relative. I just wanted to get free. But the church says now they will protect me. They weren't involved before, but the Vatican's wrestling, the popes. I could live my life without the church's help. I wouldn't have considered trying to exist because it's hopeless. They are here and they are deadly and they are supernatural. And I'm having really stupid ideas now. I think the reason is because my mind is being overtaken. It's even leaving faces on my forehead.